Hello and welcome back to the finals of the rlor tournament. On the single battles, it's between the former champion last season, Ace Bombastiko, who actually chose this format, and Kelvin. Funny back note, this match was supposed to happen before, but Ace couldn't make it, and Kelvin got a free win. They actually said they're going to meet in the finals, and it was bound to happen. So here are the finals now. You see the start, the Poros versus a Bandit City list. It's three different champions, probably maybe a Bandit tree list. Teemo, Gnar, Heimerdinger, Ziggs. And full keeps, it seems like. No, doesn't feel creepy. You can't actually see in the screen here whether or not it's a keep or not. But we are in the game now. Lonely Poro, probably going to be played turn 1, maybe. Or playing around the Pokestick, it doesn't get played. Interesting decision here. It's going to replace itself anyways, so might as well run it out. Would be my take on it, but I'm not playing Poros very often. Maybe it's better to just wait for the Poros next year. Generating the tough Poro, probably useful against the Plantora of Pinks that Bandit City can bring to the table. 1-1 attacks in, actually going to check in the background what kind of deck this is. And just auto post, we didn't miss much. It seems like it is not a minimorph or a tree deck, it's just a treasure trash deck. Teemo, Gnar, Heimerdinger, auto pulses, Shell Fulk, just random value. So no any tree win condition. Win condition is random stuff instead. 2 Poros coming out already, and they will already be getting more Poros in the future. Borealis will generate more Poros next, and this is the thing with Poros, they start out small, but they keep on coming, they keep on buffing up. It's similar to Bandit City. Bandit City will also never run out of stuff. This will be a long and grindy battle of attrition most likely. Interesting block here. Of course you don't want to lose your Mayor, but the tough protecting our Poro friend here. Frank coming out, hitting the Aurora Borealis. It should be... Oh, it doesn't even choose the Aurora Borealis. Instead goes for the -1/-0, can't block on the Mighty Poro. And the discounted Gnar coming out. Of course, one of the strongest Bandit City cards right now. It is only a 2-off in Ace's deck, but still very strong list. A very strong card here, of course. But you always have to be very aware of Gnar. If you face Freljord, there can always be a Fresh Freeze in hand, there can always be a Troll Gen in hand. It's not always that easy to win right away with it. A little bit of a pause here. Ace figuring out their turn here. The Roof Travelers will be getting rid of the Aurora Borealis. Probably a smart move to then prank the other guy if you were planning to use the Roof Travelers anyways. But here comes the buffed up Poro sled. Will generate another Poro, and Gorgeous generates another card, of course, typical bundle stuff. There will not be a good attack here for Ace. Because obviously 6/6s, or maybe there is an attack. This attack is very confusing. Why is this attack a thing? So this, I guess if you attack with both it makes sense, but the like heroic refrain, I wanted to say it, but it seems like super risky in face of Freljord, and this to be a Flash Freeze. Let's check how many Flash Freezes are actually in this deck. 1 Flash Freeze only, and 3 Sisters. I guess it's reasonable to expect this to not be in the hand. And a little bit unlucky for Ace that Kelvin had it, but probably wouldn't have been going for this block otherwise. So yeah, Gnar comes down, because he has 0 attack, he doesn't strike and doesn't get generate a Pokestick. And the Poro Sledge is ahead. So certainly was a very good exchange for Kelvin here, who will most likely either another Braum or double Mighty Poros, and has now a, I would say, significant board advantage. Of Grenadier, hitting another 3-drop here, can be from 1 to 3, average is like a 2-2, 3-1 is not bad, also not amazing. And seems like an obvious challenge, was attacking with everything. I don't know who is favored by trading down the boards, because eventually you will draw more Poros next, So it might be useful to preserve your pogos, especially since your opponent can just refuel over and over. Let's see. I don't think they run, Ace runs a Yordles and Arms, so yeah, no Yordles and Arms. But of course we get a decent 2-for-1 of our Troll Chant here. And some impact damage. Overall a win in this combat. We have now a massive board, or Calvin has now a massive board, as Ace is just down to 3 units, but you know Banner City will just randomly generate 5 more units and never run out of card advantage. It's still open. Equinox coming down, silencing the Pogo sled, which makes sense. Silence doesn't remove the Pogo tag, only the text, so Pogo sled will still profit from the Pogo snacks if there's another one. And another Lopping Telescope coming down. Just a pass, board is full, nothing to do. Minion, that's exactly what Banner City does. Just refuse the board over and over, never runs out of cards. And Ace decided not to include any finisher in this deck, but even with other finishers this is disgusting enough. At least Braum also has infinite health total, so can block over and over. We're kind of like in a stalemate here, I would say. Yeah, both sides can't really progress. And still see a big attack here. Fearsome unit can't block, this one will better free block. This is the only one that can be easily blocked with, maybe even with the minion. But eventually Ace will not run out of cards, most likely will eventually draw a Shellfolk. And Abel might run out of cards, so far it's still looking good. Minimorph now seals the deal for Braum. So there's a trade at least. And yeah. Still more damage getting in. There is no healing in Vandal City, so this damage is permanent. And each hit matters. So down to 12. And Scrap Heap, this one was not generated, is in the deck. This card's Electro Harpoon. And we will see a Mecha Yordle here. Bounce and Bolt, interesting. What does this even do here? There's no unit that it can take down currently without dying. And we see Ace kind of running out of cards here. A little bit surprising. I would have selected a Shellfolk at some point. Treasure Trash. Maybe it's just like banking up here. 1 mana banked up. So with the 9 actual mana, there could be a Treasure Trash. And here it is. Minion actually coming in unhandy here. But 6 random cards. 3 of them will be played here. It can be anything. Calvin had to face Treasure Trash before. There was a ruination coming out of it. Not directly, but detours. Will there be another ruination? Will there be another board reset? And this is very good. The pass here, you don't want to just do random stuff when your opponent just has a lot of things in their hand that are fleeting. And if they like pass back, they would just like lose all of the value in their hand. Instead, it's making them do stuff first here. The Kadri-Grillen buffing Dragon allies everywhere. There are no Dragon allies in Battle City. Just a 9/6. Stargazer, when you heal a damage ally, give it elusive this round. There's also, as far as I know, no way of healing in Battle City, so mostly those are just like stat sticks. And there can be 1 more card played. There's like a laughing emote coming out. Ethereal Remitter. 4/3 kills an ally and... Wait, what? Oh, it costs 0 this turn. Ah! That's actually hilarious. So Treasure Trash sets the cost of these cards to 0 this turn. Or generally. And this is why Ethereal Remitter generated one that costed 2 more. This is the House Spider, so 0 plus 2 is 2. And this is why there was a House Spider coming out. Hilarious interaction. And yeah, cost stays the same, even if it's on the board. Big Dragon will be taking down 1 unit here for sure. Question is, who will win this grindy battle in the end? Grinding after grinding after grinding. And again, each damage point matters. There will be no healing, no star shaping. Yes, there can be a star shaping from like random treasure trashes. But just in the base deck, there is no healing. Bending damage makes sense here. And yeah. Wanted to click OK here. But I guess we can still see some spells here. We won't see any spells. Instead, the board will be traded down once again. It's unclear in my opinion who is favored by that. Calvin can refuel a lot of stuff here, but so can Ace. And this is actually how we predicted it. Just a ton of units getting thrown around. And Bandit City Mayor coming out here. going to be buffed up by Yordle Captain. And just more cards, more cards, more cards. And here comes the trembling Caitlyn. Maybe Calvin realizing that Abandoned City is not going to run out of cards ever. And interesting, what is this? This is like an entomb. Oh, entomb on the click on this. Entomb on the Yordle Captain to prevent the value from happening. Prevent the Assumptus one. Not a play I would have seen or gone for. Can be, I can see it for sure. It prevents a bunch of buffs for 2 turns. But again, Open Telescope generated Abandoned City Mayor. And now generate another Abandoned City Mayor technically. It's an epic card that generates a card, generates a card. We all know it. We all hate it. At least most of us do. Fun to play, but kind of annoying to play against. Very nice. You see our sweet rlor picture now. The sad Poro next to the happy Poro. Still one of the best features of this Discord. Switching profile picture. And very good draw, Fabled Poro, granting all ally Poros a random keyword on play. Top deck is a Gnar. Really good draw, I would say. Is not really a way to deal with this Kadrikrin here. Poros are so happy right now. Quite a long match already. Down to almost time. And just all jump blocks coming in. Which will prevent the Gnar from leveling up. Maybe, no, there's a Pokestick in the hand. Pokestick, another very fair card in Banner City. Steals 1 damage for free. Levels up Gnar in the future. No counterplay to it, other than like a Nopify. Here comes a card draw from Barbarian Sentry. Only an Omen Hawk, probably not what Calvin was looking for here. That kind of late game scenario where we want better cards. Aurora Borealis would be my guess for the best card here. Let's look at what else is in the deck. Not really that much. 2 more Aurora Borealises. This is really more of a mid-range Poro list. So I think Calvin has officially run out of steam. Kind of, this is the last wave, the last tower defense wave of Poros. We get past this one, there will be no more. And here comes the keywords. Challenger on this one. Might be nice to take down a Mayor. Spell Shield. Not really useful. Quick Attack, not really. I guess it's useful for like really nothing can block it. Fury. And now level up in between. Most impactful one, of course, here on the right, the vulnerable, but the elusive, which was made vulnerable. But here's, look at this top deck. Look at this top deck. Another Poro coming in. Now giving Spell Shield. Another elusive. Lifesteal. Double lifesteal, even impact. So that's 1 damage, 3 damage, and 6 damage. So half of Ace's life gone with 1 top deck. Picking off the Spell Shield here. Not really sure what the point is of that. Maybe having a Minimorph in hand. I could explain the Pokestick here. Let's check how many Minimorphs are in Ace's deck. There is a total of 2. So it would be the second one. Does Ace have it? Still a pretty big swing. Interesting to attack into this. I guess it can't block anyways because of the prank, so we might as well attack with it. Still considering what to do here. Attacking with this one also seems pretty reasonable. Only I can block it this Mega Gnar. We still have to be afraid of Combitrix technically. Could be a second, like, if it was an Ace's shoes, I would be very afraid of like a Poro's next here. Really destroying me. Fortunately, there is no Poro's next, only some elixirs of iron. And this will be 5 damage. A good start. But will it be enough as a follow-up? This Poro will most likely go down to the vulnerable, like a Gnar challenge for example, or even the Kadrigrin. And Arena Mechacaster probably sealing the deal here, giving other attacking allies +2/+0 on such a massive board. But we're still at 20, so probably Ace or Calvin has to keep this Poro alive, has to draw like double 3 sisters and give it +6 attack, and Ace doesn't have to have a Minimorph. This is like Calvin's only out, otherwise Ace will easily take. This is the first 2 sisters, so 1 more and you could actually get it. Second Treasure Trash. I'm not sure if this does anything. Ace's board is full already. Most likely just looking for a removal spell here. But if we keep this Poro alive, And if you draw another Fury of the North next turn, it's possible to win. That's why you never give up. Even a Pogo Snacks would do it at this point. Then comes the big attack. And it's very important that you keep the elusive Pogo alive. I think there's no way to win if you don't keep this alive. This makes sense from Ace's perspective. He just wants to trade the board down first before playing any more units from the treasure trash. And let's see, it should be enough to not block with this one. Let's block over here, for example. Goes down to 8. Double Decimate would be enough here. I don't think this will be generated by treasure trash. And you could use the Elixir of Iron here preemptively to prevent some damage here. For example, even keep this one alive. Double Elixir of Iron on the 3-8. And he goes for the Flash Freeze. What is this? Okay, interesting. So tries to keep this one alive. Actually not enough damage. So 5 damage this way. And I would say this is more vulnerable to some kind of interaction. Let's see though. Like, can top deck Pogo Snacks. Can top deck here. Also comes down to what Ace's random cards are. Now will most likely be dead. Unless there's like a Battle Fury or something like that. But the elusive stream is alive. Fortunately losing the impact unit here. Might have been a consideration to keep the impact unit alive somehow by taking some more damage, but then you are really low. So here, 3 more cards being played. We're in a mastermind. Going to put 5 Flash Bomb Traps in the top 5 cards of the deck. This is the only card in the game that tops on top 5. All other cards put on top 10. Elixir of Iron coming in here. Second card, Detain. Brutal capturing the unit here. However, this opens up another possibility. If we hit a Entomb on the Unimaker caster, bringing back our unit, that would mean that... Yeah, interesting, you can do that. That we could bring back our unit and buff up this Pogo. We will need a big top deck now. Just the Mighty Pogo will not be enough. Even hitting this one, this will just be game. It didn't really matter which line we went for. We're not giving up yet. Don't think there's any out anymore. Trinket Raid, looking for this Pokey Stick. There's an Elixir of Iron. Calvin's still playing it out, sticking with it and seeing if there's something to get out of it. Definitely respect it, but I don't currently see an out here. I've heard this interaction before, very interesting. And Jump Attacher buffing the whole units up. This is a pretty clear victory for Bandle City. Top deck your Decimate, fast speed Decimate top deck. No. And this should just be game. GG is called. Bandle City prevails. Unfortunate. I would have wished for Pogos to win, to be honest. Who likes Bandle City anyways? But Ace played well, got good generated cards, and there were no misplays available. The capturing, the detain, probably sealed the deal on this one. Even the BM, Trixie Tentacles, it's like in the deck, no Trinket Trade created it. And this is going to be it. GG, and of course there will be a second match. I'll pause the recording until the second match comes around. And we just have to wait for a moment probably. Here we are in the second match, now between the Build War list, Twisted Fate, Gangplank, Misfortune. Let's check the mastery here. 19,000, a little bit lower. And this just seems like the typical Build War list versus Kelvan's awesome 30-30 Catastrophe deck. Mixing it up, let's see what this will be. I'm going to pull up this deck list really quickly. It's the other one. Okay, we now have the deck list. Seems pretty standard-ish. You see one Powder Pandemonium in it. And a double Riptide Rex. Reopen attack here, 3 damage. And here comes the re-attack. Of course, one of the key points of the Build War deck is to just hit the Nexus during 5 different rounds to activate the Gangplank. And just basically play it on turn 5. This is what the spec is built around. Want to get this big attack where you deal 2 to everything. Decklists Merchant coming in, nabbing one, as we are generating a 6-cost spell, so value units everywhere. Awesome day for progress. And another Glorious Evolution, we saw it in the match before, how strong this card can be if you get it down. However, we are going to face an open attack here most likely. Trail of Evidence being nabbed here from the deck, creating a random 2-cost. Redfin Hammers now being created, granting vulnerable here permanently. Even viable without lurk. Then comes the open attack with the Forge Chief. You will die anyways. Might as well die on your own terms or not. But here, there will be another Gangplank stack here for sure. What would be brutal would be a Misfortune. No Misfortune. Marai Great Mother, interesting. With a key card or a pet card. Double Marai Great Mother, double 3 Marai Great Mother, 3 Substration in the deck. Versus 7 other 3 or low cost cards. And our own Marai Warden coming out from the Interval Improvement, so hopefully matching the board a little bit. So if Ace wants to get his stack for Gangplank, he has to attack with everything here and lose one thing. This way we can actually prevent the stack from happening. And still 1 out of 5 here. But this stack is here, or this game is here to stay. It's going to be over soon. Actually play with these pets? No, can't as a spectator, fortunately. So who's ahead? Who's behind? Hard to tell. Depends on if Ace has a good spell here. I would say it's kind of even still. The important turns come out now. Turn 5, 6, 7, 8. And there comes the Gangplank. There comes the Ekko. The Heimerdingers. And this game is only getting started right now. An open pass is very interesting, just checking if the opponent wants to play a Gangplank and not running into Ace embracing the Marai Great Mothers again and putting more 3-cost spells into the deck. Really scary, I would say. I always hate facing this card, just generating random garbage. Can't really play around anything. Probably the worst designed card in the game in my opinion. And Ezreal just working my level up, 2 out of 6 now. After this cast, 3 out of 6. And Viktor, 2 out of 7. GP still at 1 out of 5, so probably not the main game plan here. Ooh, how many GPs even are there? Only 2, so 3 Twisted Fate, 2 GPs, 1 MF. And we have a Petty Officer here. This is the lowest low roll you can get after an Ephemeral maybe, but the 0-1 is absolutely unfortunate here. Also prevents Ace from getting yet another level up if Caliban goes for all of the blocks. Also let it through here, take some damage. Exactly what's happening. Lets the Gangplank, let's level up, but preserves the Ezreal, preserves the Marai Warden. In comes a Poro Cannon, Poro. Black Market Merchant, nabbing one more card here. So Ace has still one nabbed card here. Flash of Brilliance. Generating some mana here. Getting a random 6-cost spell. Build with a random 6-cost spell are pretty terrible. We have Sunk Cost, Monster Harpoon, Sleight of Hand, the other one, Strong Arm. And I think that's close to it. Pretty bad spells, I would say. I guess Monster Harpoon is fine. But here comes the signature spell again. Glorious Evolution, buffing up everything everywhere, and basically turns the deck into the Victor's dreams. That said, oh, it's a 3-cost Vengeance from my Great Mother. First bullshit getting pulled from my head here. And another one. Another 3-cost spell drawn here. Maybe. Just a pass for now. We still have Daring Poro. Now everything is created. Every card that I played are buffed up here. You just see no attack here from Caliban, or just like missing the tech token, not sure. In comes a warning shot. 3 out of 5 now for Gangplank. And Riptide Rex absolutely demolishing Caliban's board and life total. What a swing. What a card to have in your deck. 2-card combo here. And it will be hard to come back from this one. This definitely gives Caliban a big Ace a big lead here, but this can still be overcome. We have the Ekko, who can take down the Riptide Rex. We have the Static Shock, who can deal with these small guys a little bit. Even attacking with the Red Hammer Snout, seeing that 6 damage would be worthy trade-off for this 1-2. And that this block on the 6-4 is probably a worthy trade-off as well. 4-2 blocking now, and we'll generate this Time Trick. Time Trick will also cost 1, so we can go for the Static Shock plus Time Trick here. And Kelvin saving this 1-1 in the hand for a potentially bigger turn, most likely. In comes the Time Trick. And down to 8, no healing, so each little point of damage matters. Of course, Viktor are leveled up by now. And this second Glorious Evolution might be a little bit of an overkill. Let's see here. Probably Submersible would be my choice. It's getting more cards in and more draws. 17 out of 10, so even the 30-30 would probably just win the game if there's not a random 6-cost spell being pulled here. Servitor of Desolation summons a statue, which will bring back all units that are been destroyed before. 2-3 units. But is that actually enough is the question. So I think going for the second Glorious Evolution is too greedy, although you still have to worry about a Make It Rain, for example. There probably is a technical way to get lethal here with the elusives, but here's the Make It Rain, just hitting everybody. Pretty brutal result. Don't know if it was top deck or not, but very, very brutal here. Setting back Kelvin to the Stone Age. And what do you even do from this spot? Well, you have to just play out your units, play out your cards, go for the augment, but Ace is now massively leading, I would say. So hard to come back. Maybe a very lucky 10 puff cap roll would be possible, but with 38 cards left in the deck, because like all of them shuffled in, will be very hard to achieve. Forcing the block here on the 6-4, most likely. Otherwise it will be down to 2. Is there another 3-cost spell here? We have shuffled in 12. We have drawn 2 out of 12. In the top 3 draws, I think. Could also just be the... Oh, this is the generated one by the Flash of Brilliance, exactly. This was definitely the best one to generate. Monster Harpoon, sunk costs would have been the next best one, but you could also have just like generated a dead one. Now 3 damage coming in, or 3 plus 3 are 6. 6 damage coming in. Kelvin deciding to play it safe, has the Progress Day in hand. And Ace is kind of down to very little resources, but one Dread Ray, one good 3-cost spell here can turn it around. This is the tricky part about these Bridgewater decks. You think you're winning, but you just drop a Gangplank, drop a Dread Ray. Gangplank still not leveled at level 10. A little bit embarrassing. Do not have him leveled up yet. But here comes the random card draw from... Yes, it's not random. Card draw from Kelvin. Pretty good cards, I would say. There's some units, maybe hoping for some spells. I would probably leave with some treasures, discarding second Glorious Evolution to just be good to have a blocker for Gangplank. See a good other option. Exactly. As a Scavenger, very interesting here. Generating the elusive. This should be a force block here. Still taking 5 damage down to 3. So like a random... I guess Decimate doesn't work because it's like 5. What did we hit? Double up, and this will be game. For the last card, 1-off in Ace's deck, and this knocks Kelvin out. Ace wins 2-0. Is so far is then undefeated in the matchup because Kelvin won the first one, but he didn't actually play. And this will be the final match of the tournament. So thank you so much for watching, and see you around.